Let's talk about Black History Month and the intersections of people of color and LGBTQ+. My gay guy pal, Jamaal Starks, joined me to talk about an important moment in our history. You know, every year in February, we honor Black History Month, which was founded by the Association for the Study of African American Life and History, ASALH. ASALH was founded in 1915 by Dr. Carter G. Woodson with a mission to promote, research, preserve, interpret, and disseminate information about Black history, about Black life, history, and culture to the global community. We share in ASALH's own words why Black History Month is so important. They say, quote, "Let us think of Black History Month as the way our nation honors its greatest moments and greatest people. Let us appreciate Black History Month in a similar way, as when our government sets aside a month or day, thereby giving it a special meaning for all Americans. No one should think that Black history is confined to the month of February, when evidence to the contrary appears everywhere and every month. Black History Month is not a token. It is a special tribute, a time of acknowledgement, reflection, and inspiration that comes to life in real and ongoing activities throughout the year. Just as the work of legacy builders, Ujima Men's, Viv, all the organizations that Jamal's a part of, steadily brings both racial pride and the centrality of race and the Black experience to us all. Black History Month, too, is a powerful symbolic celebration, and symbols always stand for something bigger. In our case, the important role of Black history in pursuit of racial justice and equality. So today and all year, we honor Black History Month and all whose shoulders we stand on daily. Say the names. Some Black historic LGBTQ+ figures: William Dorsey, Swan, Alan Leroy Locke, Lucy Hicks Anderson, Bessie Smith, Gladys Bentley, Baird Rustin, Marsha P. Johnson, Dr. Danny Scarborough, Marlon Riggs, Sylvester, Black non-binary trailblazers, B. Hawk Snipes, Dee Dee Nicole Smith, Milan Garcon, India Moore, Mari Raja, Salima Turner, Shea Coulee, Bob the Drag Queen, Shamir, Akwaki Emezi, Amandia Stedberg. Happy Black History Month. Black History Month must never, ever be erased. What did you think?
That was beautiful.
You think so?
I was so happy to see some of my people on there.
Well, I mean, like, it's important. And I feel that we're being so erased at every corner, LGBTQ as a whole, but Black History Month even more so. I mean, like, when they had announced a couple of years back that they weren't going to teach Black History Month in schools, you remember us being like beside ourselves. Yeah. And it was just the freaking beginning.
Yeah. We said that, on the queer table?
Yes.
At the news?
Yes, like 2 years ago, Jamal. And here we are.
Now it's serious with them erasing DI measures and programs and acknowledging even acknowledging Black History Month in the federal government's programs. I mean, here we are.
I didn't mention Impulse Group, which I should have mentioned as well. I mean, first of all, February is the shortest month of the year. Okay. And it's like, when we were celebrating History Month to the fullest degree, it still felt unjust that it was just February. You know what I mean? I mean, and now with the current government that we have and the ability that people feel they have to be freaking racist.
Yeah.
Let's be real. People before were hiding their racism. I mean, that's the only way I could think about it, because it's not new that people are racist. I just think that people now have the ability or the support to do it out in public.
But we had that before when he was elected. Between 2016 to 2020, racial tensions were extremely high. That was the time of the police shootings,
George
Floyd's, and it led us right into a pandemic. The world was quite chaotic those years leading up to 2020. I think what happens is, whatever power dynamics essentially live in the executive branch of the White House, it gives people a representation to believe, this time the Democrats are there, so I'll be more PC, I'll mask right now. It doesn't go away.
Yeah.
It just makes them go, oh, well, I'll bite my tongue because I may lose my job, But now with all of these procedures being done away with, Now it's like, okay, all right, I can call you the N word, and I'm not going to lose my job.
Oh
Because,
my God.
I mean, remember back in the day, it would be social media. People would film people
Yeah.
being racist or being stupid ass wipes, and then they send it to their company, or they find their company and they and then the person get fired. There's repercussions. But now there are no repercussions.
None. There were
you know?
discrimination orders. Like you could not do that. You could not be discriminated against because of the color of your skin. And now that's basically erased from most workplaces.
Yeah. And actually, if people think it's not real, I got an insider tip for a job. My brother was like, "Oh, this job is opening. It's friend of friend, da da da."
Mm-hmm.
And the CEO literally said, "No gay people." And it's on the internal document.
Oh my God. Wow.
It's on the internal document. It says no gays. No
Wow.
gays.
Wow.
He would not hire any gay.
And he was allowed
And
to
he's
do that.
allowed to
And he
do
was
that.
allowed to do that.
He's allowed to do
You
that.
know, like,
it's okay.
I mean, how far are we from, it wasn't here not here, South Florida. Okay. Miami had water fountains that could not be drunk from anybody that was Cuban at a certain time. Okay. There were signs on doors that would say no Cubans allowed to eat here. Right. Black folks obviously dealt with the same thing. We forget those times, like we forget how that divide was implemented and people went along with it. Like it was okay to do that.
We're doomed to repeat the history that's forgotten. And I mean, that saying is so cliche, it's overused, but it's actually true. It's true because, it's called hypernormalization. It's the same way that Hitler came to power. You just normalize things and you normalize it amongst those who they deem are weakest among you. So right now it's the gay, well, it's the trans. Trans people it's an outright, shout out to Hope Giselle. Trans people are literally under the gun.
The biggest target.
The biggest target right now.
Yep.
And soon it's coming for, now it's LGBTQ folks who are living with HIV and AIDS or who want preventative care when it comes down to being a sexy, healthy adult.
Yes.
And having sexual practices that are healthy. So now it's there. But who cares? You go out and you can run in the middle of the street right now and say, they're forcing trans people in Florida jails to detransition. Everybody keep walking around.
They don't care.
I got to walk my dog. I got to go to work.
Yeah.
Child, ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah.
And so that's how it happens. That's how it starts. And, Florida is the breeding ground and the testing ground. We were tested in 2020. We were tested during the first Trump administration. We have been tested and tested and tested and tested. And guess what? It passes because before Florida was extremely liberal. Now the propaganda machine, we groom kids, all of those things. We need to pull the books out of it has worked. It has worked. Yeah. We live now in we live in a bubble here in South Florida, but we live in a Florida that once you step outside of these protective, bubbly, gay walls and liberal walls,
you're under attack.
You're under attack.
You're under attack. Like, I have trans siblings that were once afraid to just drive up to Tallahassee for an event. And now they just refuse to, they're afraid for their safety. And who can blame them? It starts with one. I mean, you've all seen the memes. It starts with one and then they come for the rest of us, So it's like, if you ain't black or brown and you're like, oh, that doesn't affect me. It affects you. It affects all of us. And by the time you notice it affects you, it'll be too late.
It'll be too late.
So on this Black History Month, first of all, it should be Black History Month all year round. You should always take notice. And, we stand on the shoulders of so many Black Americans. Okay, because it's American history. All right, that people tend to forget. So but it's Black History Month, and I beg you to do something, anything it is, right? Maybe it's donate to a BIPOC cause. Maybe it's February 28th. We're trying to do something where we don't spend any money, right? Where we are not going to spend a dime. That day, you go to a Black owned and operated place and you go spend your money there. Or you go to a gay place or an LGBTQ owned and operated place on that day. You're allowed to spend money there, okay?
Right.
You know, and maybe that's all you do, right? Maybe you're not up to going to volunteer at one of these places. Maybe you're not there yet. Fine. Hide behind your computer and send your money in. I'm okay with that. It's still a step in towards the right direction.
Yeah. We have to do something.
We have to do something. So this is an important conversation for our LGBTQ plus community. Help us tell these important stories by liking and subscribing to the FayWhat Show. To support our community, it is very important